Surprise, 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 another modern video game being delayed yet again. This should not come to any surprise to anyone because we should have saw the writing on the wall. Now, me personally, I never believed this game was coming out in 2025 anyway, even though they announced it was coming out in 2025. I actually had no faith that this game was going to be coming out in 2025. And to me, this is not a big surprise. This is something that's been going on this entire generation, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, but this entire generation has just really kind of been miserable this entire time. Like, we've been getting delays when we do get games on time. They're buggy and they don't work, they're broken. It's like this generation in general has just really been underwhelming, to say the least. Like, the amount of games compared to previous generations, one, we're not getting as many games, especially from franchises that we like Naughty Dog and like a lot of these top tier franchises, Santa Monica, whether it be Halo Studios, which used to be 343. There's so many of these studios that we're not even getting games consistently from these studios, and then when we do get games, they're either delayed or they're buggy, or in some cases delayed and buggy. And it's just a situation where we're looking at this thing, and then Fable, Microsoft announced today during their Xbox podcast, like, yeah, we're sorry, we're delaying this game until 2026. Didn't give a reason, just said, hey everybody, we assure you this game is going to be worth the wait. And you know, I wasn't one of the ones that was excited about this game anyway. I was like, okay, the gameplay looks kind of cool. Me personally, I'm kind of over this whole realistic type looking games with the action. Like, I'm kind of over that. Like, every game this generation seems to be going for these hyper realistic graphics. Like, man, we gotta push the boundaries of these games. And it's like, whether it be God of War Ragnarok or Assassin's Creed Shadows or the new Naughty Dog game, Interstellar, or whatever it's called. It's like, why does all these games have to be super realistic and take so long and so much money to develop for? Like, give me a game within 2 to 3 years and just make it fun. That's all I care about. Just make it fun. It's one of the reasons why I've been going back and playing games on the Xbox 360. Steam Deck is my favorite platform right now. I absolutely love the Steam Deck. I can go back and play games from previous generations and just have a fun time playing the games and not have to worry about, like, oh my god, did you see the way her hair moves? And look at the skin tone, and look how her face blushes when she gets nervous and she's shy. And like, I honestly don't understand why so many people care about that. At the end of the day, is the game fun? Give me a fun game with a competent story and make me care about the gameplay and the characters, and that's really all I care about. Never once did I say, man, this Mario game wasn't good because Mario just doesn't look realistic enough. It's just not something that I personally care about. And I think we're getting into a problem now where a lot of games feel like they have to be like super realistic. They gotta push the boundaries of everything. Like, that's good every once in a while. Like, it's good to have those type of games every once in a while and kind of just showcase, you know, what you can push the technology to. But I don't think it's something that we have to rely on all the time. I'd rather have just fun, stylized games. One of my favorite games in the past 6 years was Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like, I absolutely love that game, and that's like a stylized, cel-shaded type game. Even if you look at like the Indiana Jones game that I have downloaded, it's just sitting here, I haven't even tried it yet, but that is a very like animated, semi-realistic, stylized art style. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, not everything has to be super realistic. I don't need to see the pores in these people's skin. And I'm not saying that the game was delayed because they're spending more time on the visuals. I'm just saying that I feel like these people, and I'm talking about the developers and these studios and these companies, are spending way more time on the appearance of the game and not really necessarily focusing on just make the game fun. Like, make the game fun. Like, we don't need this craziness that they add. Like, there was a studio, I can't remember what studio it was, but like, for example, let me just throw this out here. This is a perfect example of this. I have not played this game yet, So this is just my thoughts on it. Avowed is being criticized because the objects on the tables don't interact when you swing your sword or weapon. It doesn't interact. Yet Oblivion from like 15, 20 years ago has complete like interaction with the objects on the table. So how can a game from back then do it, but a game for today do it? If that is what you're worrying about in a game, then we have problems, guys. That's not so. The objects on the table should be the least important thing that we're focused on in the game. Does the game run good? Does the game play good? Is the game fun? Those are the things we should care about. Not, hey, can I knock over that bowl of fruit? That's something we shouldn't care about. And that is really the problem that I feel that critics, studios, and some gamers have now, that like they're focused on the wrong thing. Let's focus on having the game fun. Now, if Avowed would get done like, let's say, like 3 to 4 year dev cycle and they don't have fruit that's interactive, then I don't care about the interactive fruit. That's not important to me at all. Just give me the game. I don't need like all these little tiny details. I don't need to see fish jump out of the water. I don't need any of that. Just give me the game. You know, that's all I care about. And I feel like a lot of people criticize studios, and then like when a studio like Avowed, like Obsidian did with Avowed, and they didn't make the fruit interactive or whatnot, yet Oblivion did years ago, almost 2 decades ago, well, then that's a step down in game. No, the visuals, the frame rate, all that is way more superior now. And they have to compensate for that. So to focus their time on that instead of making interactive fruit, I don't see the problem in that. And that's just my sentiment, I guess. I don't know. Here's the thing. Fable got delayed. Is not a big surprise to me. I kind of expected this game to be delayed. I think it was kind of crazy that they even put a 2025 release date on it anyway. We've seen tons of games that were supposed to come out in 2024 that got delayed to this year. Avowed being one of them that was supposed to come out late 2024. It got pushed back to early 2025. And for all I know, there could be a bigger reason. For all I know, maybe they got a little hint that GTA is coming out around sometime this year, and they're like, hey, we're going to avoid GTA. We're pushing Fable back to 2026. We don't know because they didn't give an explanation. Maybe they're working on ports for the PlayStation 5 so they can have a PS5 and Xbox PC release simultaneously. That is a possibility. We don't know. All I know is that as a gamer today, it's kind of rough being a gamer in modern day. It really is, because we're constantly getting delays. We're constantly getting broken games. The games that we get are way too long. The dev cycles and the budgets for these games are way too much. And the art form and the industry that I've loved since I was 5, 6 years old is really kind of crumbling down. And yes, we get good games too, so I don't want to like overshadow the good games that we get. But for the most part, all these newer games, they're trying to do too much, I feel. Stop trying to do too much. Just release the games. Make good games, release the games. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just do what you can do, make it fun, make it competent, and keep that release date. Anyway, I have a different outlook on this than a lot of people do. I'm also a 41-year-old gamer who's been gaming for like 35, 36 years. So I have a different outlook compared to a lot of younger gamers, but that's just my thoughts on it. I miss the days when we got 4 Gears of War games in one generation. We got 3 to 4 Halo games in one. There was a time we got 3 Uncharted games and a Last of Us all from the same studio in one generation. That actually happened, guys. That actually happened. We need to go back to that. We need to go back to these 2 to 3 year dev cycles and stop worrying about, hey, did that grass move? Can I throw that apple? Hey, I want to see Aloy blush a little bit. Hey, we need to get over that and just give these games more time and actually have them come out when they're supposed to come out. Anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on it. How do you guys feel about Fable being delayed? Is this something that you're kind of down about? You bummed out about it? Or is it something that you kind of expected? Please leave those comments in the comment box below. If you guys can please hit that like button if you stuck around and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And let me know if you want to see my review of the Hori Steam controller. I got some things to say about this thing, but I'll leave that up to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and thank you for watching.